touch on that a bit later, how we're going to try and make a
Yeah,
difference together.
absolutely. I totally agree with you. I think I mean, obviously they are comparing this, or even putting this across as even a worse situation than the World War. So we have no idea what happened back then. It would have been crazy for people who experienced that. But the thing right now is that you literally have no other option but to follow what's been told.
Yeah.
And for some people, it's been so tough because we're just not used to listening or doing the correct thing. It's a bit sad to see as well when people don't follow one vision, one goal, and it can make such a huge difference. I mean, people understand that today, that if everyone gets together and work in the right direction, special things can happen. Things can come back to normal sooner than what people might think if they push in one direction. And yeah, it's actually surreal. I never thought we are going to see a time like this ever.
I can
It's just
compare
come
that.
so quickly.
I can
Hmm.
actually compare that to cricket a lot. I
Mm-hmm.
think you'll relate with the fact that definitely in my career, very often you feel like you're a
Mm.
million miles away from achieving anything. And
Yep.
basically that never say die attitude, never giving up, pushing harder,
Yep.
pushing harder. Before you know it, things happen so quickly and so
Yep.
dramatically that you look around and you go like, hold on, I've just achieved something that no one else in the history has achieved before. And I think you can say that quite a bit about yourself
Mm.
and your stats. But we
Mm.
as cricketers, we never look at our stats
Mm.
that often. But looking back at a lot of hard work, all of a sudden magic happens. And I think we're in a similar kind of situation than some of our cricket games and cricket careers. If we just push on for a bit longer, there might not
Yep.
seem like there's light at the end of the tunnel, but before you know it, doors open up and the light comes
Yep.
through. Uh,
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. I think as sportsmen, it or sportswomen, it teaches us a lot to keep bouncing back. That's something that is ingrained in us, and yeah, that should come on the surface for everyone. And we can totally relate to that mindset. We can keep pushing people in the right direction, keep motivating them, and that I think is our contribution right now. Apart from all the things
uh,
that we do from a financial side of things, helping people and charities and stuff, but apart from that, I think it's the motivation. It's touching the right emotion in people that really brings out the best in them, and
I
that's
don't know
something
if,
that we
yeah, 100%, and I don't know if
definitely
you're the
can do.
same, but it almost feels like your hands are tied in these times.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
want to do a lot, but you're locked up in your house. And I think from a mental freshness point of view and staying positive, it's important not to be too hard on yourself. Try and give a
Mm,
hand where you can, but
mm,
don't
mm,
pull yourself down when you feel like you're not changing the world in one day. It takes
mm,
time,
mm,
and every little
mm,
bit
mm,
helps. So
mm,
certainly for me, I felt like, you know what, I've had a big following because of my cricket over the years,
mm,
and I'm not doing enough. I tell my wife every night,
mm,
I don't feel like I'm doing anything.
mm,
And
mm,
then she gives me the peace of mind, like, just stay patient. You are actually, I'll remember that guy, remember this. You are helping,
mm,
and I think
mm,
if you're
mm,
patiently
mm,
doing something positive every day,
mm.
the big sum will eventually be something special.
I totally
Yeah,
agree with you. I think when you do something for someone, it has to be special. It has to be something that makes an impact on their lives. And
yeah,
not everyone has to publicize it. Not everyone has to put it out there and show the world what I'm doing or what not.
100%.
Unfortunately, that's the kind of validation everyone's seeking. But you
Mm,
have to choose to live life in the right manner, and you
yeah.
have to choose to do the right thing. And as you said, Danielle is your pillar of strength for me in my life. Anushka is definitely that person who always pushes me in that direction.
uh,
If anything is off, any kind of motivation, any kind of support, we're both there for each other. And I think we're blessed to have a great life partner and great people around us. And yeah, I've seen you impact people in a way that it's very different. It's very special. It's not out there. It's not for the world to watch, but the
mm.
things you say to people, the way you come across, you treat them certainly makes an impact on them. And I've seen that inside the change room. And I was just thinking from that note, I remember the first time we met after you were picked up by RCB. I
Yeah.
remember it was in Johannesburg, and we came down the tunnel. You guys were finishing practice, or yeah, correct. You guys were finishing practice. We were just starting ours, and I came and said hello, and I said we're going to be playing together, and you were like, I'm excited for that. It was a very brief chat. Didn't know after so many years, after what, 9 years, we'll be such good friends and have a
Wow.
great journey together. And yeah, it's been wonderful. It's been wonderful to create a lot of memories.
it's an interesting story because it's a very human thing to do. Is when you hear about someone for quite a few years, and Balchi has told me a lot about you
Yeah.
leading up to. I mean, I think you were 18, 19, 20 when you started playing for RCB, and Balchi would tell me about you. And having known you for 3 years, but never met you, never meeting you in that time, you sort of, it's a human thing to sort of put a bit of defense around yourself, you know. So
Yeah.
I remember walking up the tunnel, and even though I said hi, my defenses were definitely up. Like, hold on, I don't quite trust this guy yet. I've heard a lot about him. I've seen the hair, I've seen the style. I'm not convinced.
Yeah.
but it didn't take me long to get to know you a bit better and to see the human side in you, which luckily over the last few years, because of what you've achieved, a lot of people have seen that human side. Where if that didn't happen, and for a lot of people, I don't think everyone gets to enjoy the human side of them. You just see
Yep.
this image. But anyway, there's a good spirit inside of your body, and Biscuit, we all have a lot of respect for you and everything you've achieved.
Thanks, my
Okay,
brother. Thank you so
yeah,
much.
that's enough of that.
Yeah, it's a bit emotional. It's getting a bit dramatic. But listen, I was actually talking to Anushka about this, and RCB shared a picture of the first game that I played for RCB, and
Yeah,
now it's been 12 years. It was in 2008, and now we're in 2020, and it's such an amazing journey. It's so surreal. You've been here 9 years yourself,
yeah,
and it's been so amazing to actually look back and think. For a lot of people, it's all about, obviously we want to achieve the ultimate goal. For RCB, we've come close thrice, haven't been able to. That's always going to be our dream together. But I was just thinking, looking back at this journey, I was like, and we just sat down and spoke about it. I was like, there is no way in any scenario that I can ever think of leaving this team because of the journey we've had, because of the love and the care the franchise has shown, the fans have shown. You can feel emotional about the season going well or not, but to have that loyalty with Bangalore, with RCB, it's been quite surreal. I don't know what you feel about it, but I just got this emotion. I was like, man, till the time I'm playing IPL, regardless of how we play, I am never leaving this team. There is no
look,
chance in any situation that I'm going to play for anyone else.
not everyone is as sure of staying in a side as you are. So that has certainly been my inspiration for quite a few years now. I'd never want
Mm,
to leave Bangalore, but I know I've got to
yeah.
score runs if I want to stay there. So that's really pushed me, and obviously the fans. But
Mm,
it is crazy when you look back, and that I want to touch on. It's something that's on my mind a lot. Is how people
mm,
harp on stats and hundreds and big performances, and as nice as that is, every time I look back on memories of the IPL or playing for South Africa or any team for that matter, you think of relationships and
yeah.
connections and friends, and you don't really. Yes, in the back of my mind, hey, I played a nice knock there. It's more often than
Mm,
not people remind me of that. It's not myself thinking of it,
mm,
but you think special. You think about special moments and the crowd's
mm,
atmosphere. You know, so
yeah.
those are the kind of things I don't want to ever give away. I want to be
Yeah.
in Bangalore for that for I don't know how many years to come. So hopefully the IPL will happen this year. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, let's see. I mean, we have no clarity whatsoever at the moment,
Wow,
but I'm quite optimistic. At some stage, we will definitely have something because
wow,
things are moving in the right direction. And it's actually quite amazing because when people get back from this, when things are back to normal, I don't see things getting back to normal in the same manner that they were before everything happened. I think there are going to be a lot of changes.
mm,
Lot of discipline has to be shown by people everywhere, is what I'm
wow,
thinking. People have to respect guidelines and rules and all that. That surely, I think, is going to be our future. But whenever people come back to watch games or, the players come back to play, there's going to be such different energy and pure enjoyment because what I've seen in this phase is there are a lot of times when you get egoistic and you think, I'm doing this or I'm doing that. In reality, you're controlling nothing. No one
wow,
can do anything in the current situation. We all have to swallow our ego, just follow what's been told, and just be grateful for life. Try and help those who are in need, and that's all. We should be so grateful that we are able to sit in comfortable environments at a stage where so many people are struggling for food. And it
wow.
really puts things in perspective, when you don't have control of anything, you can't even get out of your own house. How can we claim to do something and make something happen? All we can do is just enjoy and just have a good attitude and give everything that we have. And I think it's drastically going to change the enjoyment part of things for a lot of people. People are going to stop getting so serious about their own games or results and all that sort of stuff. I think that
Uh,
that pure love for everything is really going to come up on the surface. I don't know if you agree or not, but that's something I feel
uh,
might help.
yeah, there's a lot of things that'll never be the same again. That's for sure. And
Mm,
you touched on it briefly, and it's certainly something that I've become more aware of because of this pandemic. Is the hunger there is around the world.
mm,
It's huge, and it breaks my heart. I don't know how to deal with it. That people are
I know,
suffering, that they can't get food on the table. I mean,
I know.
yeah, it really gets to me. So my focus has been on that quite a lot, and those are the think of anything worse than not being able to give your family food. So that's been
Mm,
my focus, and certainly for the next, well, for the rest of my life, I'll try and make a difference when it comes to that. Obviously, different areas as well, but I
mm,
think
mm.
that's quite a big problem we have.
Yeah, I think nothing, I don't think there's anything greater than that. Nothing hurts you more than seeing people just struggling for a
Uh,
meal. And as
uh,
I said,
PL, a lot has happened, and
mm,
we've had a few good, nice knocks together that I'll never forget for the rest of my life. So there was a particular one in 2016 against the Gujarat Lions. I
mm.
think, yeah, I think you'll remember that one. We both scored.
Okay, now I understand why you told me yesterday that get a bat and a pair of gloves for that game. Now,
I
okay,
told you,
go on. This is
yeah.
interesting. Go on.
So it was a good partnership. It's a very enjoyable one, and
Yeah.
if I can remember correctly, I got 120 odd, 129, I think, and you also got your 100 right at the end where I gave you the strike. No, I'm just kidding. So
Yeah,
that
yeah.
doesn't happen every day that two batters get 100 in the same game. It was also the green game, which was a very special memory
Mm.
for me, where we did our bit in creating a bit of awareness
Yep.
for being eco-friendly for nature, which is very close to my heart. I know it's also close to your
What are you
so
doing with it?
the plan is to get it on an online auction platform where
Oh, wow.
I know there are a lot of collectors around the world that wouldn't mind your bet particularly, but I'll throw mine in there as well as a little
Yeah, right,
bonus.
right. Let's
uh,
get the modest version out. Come on.
I think it could be a
Mm.
nice collector's item from that day with the kit, the green kit. We
Wow,
both shared a
that's
photo of that game.
wow, that's
Um,
special. Yeah.
so the platform is called Bid or Buy. I'll share more info after this
Mm,
chat
mm,
on my
mm,
Instagram page, and then people
mm,
can go there and bid. I mean, and all the proceeds will go um, for the COVID-19 issue that we have, but particularly
mm, mm.
for a cause that
fact
Yeah.
that you also want to, share a part of it to India, where you have a massive, massive fan following, probably the most loved international cricketer ever in India. I sent you a picture of a guy riding a bike a few months ago with your T-shirt, if you
uh,
remember. So
that's very
quite
special.
special, quite an amazing gesture from you. And I've actually got the stuff that you asked me, with the
Aha.
wear and
Or buy. It's a South African platform, but you can bid on it globally, and
Mm,
we'll courier the items to you. It might take a week or two. We'll see where it goes. If I feel the figure is big enough, I'll
mm,
announce the winner or the bidder on Instagram, and
mm,
we'll courier it straight to your doorstep, and we can put messages on there, personalize it the way you want it.
mm, mm.
Myself, it's my
Sort of 45, not exactly fine leg, but that
uh,
angle is just impossible to create. I don't know how you made it happen. And I was like, wow, I've never seen anything that like that on the cricket field. But I
uh,
clearly remember, um, that whole season, that game. It was pure magic. All the guys that are involved in that season as well, um, they still remember it. Those who are
uh,
not even playing right now for RCB, they still remember it. And it was just the camaraderie, the friendships, that
but we are so
Yeah.
grateful.
Look, the passion is always going to be there, but
I know.
when you find a life partner who is just meant to be for you,
Uh,
things fall in perspective by themselves, and you know you start believing that it's not all about.
and I'll never
Mm,
in my life forget that. I'll never forget the words he said. But that's the kind of impact just like 30 minutes from someone can have on one's
mm,
life. And it's amazing.
mm.
But yeah, life partners, obviously, it's on a whole different level.
Yeah,
But
that's a totally different conversation when you talk about your life partner. But I agree in sport, in our careers, I can remember a few people, sort of growing into my career. Gary was obviously the first coach that I interacted with when I entered the Indian team, and he gave me just positive advice. And
as a player, I feel like, you know what, I'm letting him down if I'm not scoring runs. You wanna do something special for a leader, and it takes a trick to become such a leader, you know.
yeah, look, I obviously took time to figure it out, but the only thing I felt like was the most sensible thing to do is empower people around you.
Yeah,
Because when you empower people around you, they become the best version of themselves, and eventually it helps the team that you've been given the responsibility for. But in
sure.
life as well, they realize themselves, and then they're able to lead their lives in the right manner as well. So I would
True.
love to see people taking responsibility and initiative by themselves, always have a helping hand around them, like myself or you as a senior. But I want to see guys coming and that's where the
Yeah.
fun is. Sometimes I think people have too much regard and respect for systems and how
Mm.
traditions have been working and all that sort of stuff in sport. But I think when you break the shackles is when you do something special, and then people can relate to that and learn from that.
You see, the thing is, Biscuit, 90% of the things I achieved in my career he's an interesting character. He calls me up at night, like at 1 o'clock in the morning SA time, and I go like, "What is he doing at 4 a.m. in India?"
Have you seen his TikTok videos?
He gives me a video call, and I'm like, "No, man."
Oh my word!
uh,
You should
what?
you
What?
should go and check out Yuzvendra Chahal TikTok videos.
Oh, really?
You will not believe that this guy is playing international cricket and he's 29 years old. Just go and look at his videos. He's an absolute clown, but
Yeah,
he's such a
I'll
lovely
go.
guy.
While we're chatting, I just want the guys to ask some questions, and we'll answer as many as we can. Can you see your
Yeah,
feed
sure.
coming up?
Go ahead. I only see hello,
Yeah.
love struck, AB, 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 love you, AB sir, 17 and 18 together.
Let's count. Let's
I'm
count how
really
many
big fan of
people.
you.
How many people love me? And how many love you? I hope I win.
I can only see AB, AB, AB everywhere, honestly.
Fantastic. Okay, I'm ahead. No, we'll hopefully get
Well, 2013 first test in the test series when I got 120 and 95 in the second innings. I got out to JP. I can't believe it. Second innings 95 at Johannesburg. Caught behind. You were keeping. Bloody hell. It's my favorite because you bowled at me as well, and I didn't get out to you. And
Oh
that
my
was
word, I
obviously
bowled. I've kept wicket for test series. I mean, you were amazing, and you sort of you were part of the guys. Obviously, Session and a few others, but you were part of a big change. I feel in Indian cricket where the
mm,
batters started playing the short ball better,
mm,
and they started doing special stuff everywhere around the world.
mm,
People were very quick to say early on, like 10, 15 years back, South
mm,
Africans can never score hundreds in India. Indians can
mm,
never score hundreds in England or South Africa. And that whole thing has
mm,
changed. And I feel it's more of a level playing ground these days where all batters are adapted to score hundreds everywhere in the
mm.
world. Dale Steyn went to India and got a 10 for. I mean, on a, where
Yeah, I
was it?
know.
I think Hyderabad. No, it wasn't Hyderabad. Where
Okay, you're at number 4.
Th-
There's no doubt about that.
Okay, thank you very much, Virat. Now we're going to have to
Okay.
start thinking about some all-rounders. Jock Ellis at number 5. But we might change the batting order up depending on what kind of wickets we're playing. Sometimes Jake's might bat at 3,
Hmm.
you go to 4, I go to 5. Fair enough.
Actually, let's do India, South Africa. You're correct.
Okay, I'm
Um,
happy. I'm happy. 6.
yeah, Jack is 5. I would go UV at 6 with
Okay, so
left.
it's Imran, Jadu, Ravi, Ashwin, Kumble.
I would say in ODIs, I would say Jadeja as the left arm.
Okay, Jadu at 8.
Um, yeah, Jadu at 8. Um, then we could do Jadu probably in the squad, but push in an off spinner in there. What do you think? Because we already sorted as well. I hope you
I'm
agree with
happy
that.
with that. I've never played under him, but I've always had the world of respect for him. The way he handles himself on and off the field. I mean, he's always calm. He knows the game well, so I'm happy with that.
Absolutely. Proper. Okay, the one question that I saw was explain your friendship in one word. Define it.
Timeless.
Ah, why did I let you go first? Well, yeah, but
Thanks for listening, all the South Africans, everyone around the world. I'm going to do my homework and get some feedback on this chat and see if we can change some of the topics, and we'll do it again at some stage. Thanks, Biscuit.
Cheers, my brother. Take care.
Cheers. Take care.
Bye.